focusing on, at least for my body, I was just focusing on trying to run, and I could barely even run, 2 miles. And after the weight loss, so for most of my major weight loss phase, I didn't work out very often. I was in ketosis a lot, doing intermittent fasting. So I just tried to focus on tailoring my diet. And then towards the end, I started integrating working out. I tried CrossFit for a bit. I got really toned, but I got really badly injured. My back, I couldn't even walk for like a month. I had to go to the chiropractor every day. And
that's common. CrossFit can be very dangerous, and we've actually talked about that. We're going to have people on doing CrossFit boxes, because I'm glad you brought that up, because did you do that in the beginning again when you were kind of trying to lose weight again, or was that later on?
This was after I was done with my own goals. I started integrating CrossFit, and so I was losing inches and gaining muscle mass, but it ended up just not being what I thought was the healthiest for my body.
Did you try to do that in a ketogenic kind of way, like while you were still fat burning, or did you implement some more carbs back in to counteract that, the heavier physical activity?
I didn't implement very many carbs, and I was doing intermittent fasting at the same time, which puts extra stress on your body as well, especially for women. I wasn't doing the female version. I was doing, the full 16 hours. Yeah, I mean, it's great. We ended up, my husband and I, just spending the money and buying a full weight set. So our garage is basically a gym now. But now that I know the better types of workouts for my body, just lifting a lot of weight, doing sprints, and basically just getting active. We love rock climbing, biking, anything outside. Absolutely, you do it less because you end up being more active in general, and your body knows how to process. It doesn't have to burn off 6-inch Subway sandwich anymore because it's just burning off, shrimp and asparagus.
Jared did it. Jared, bro. I mean, come on. He's going to die of cancer probably, but he's going to be skinny. But no, that's a good point, and that's saying that life is activity. And I think that's the point that I've made that mistake as well. I'm sure Heath has. I've always been physically active my whole life, but I worked out wrong too. I thought more was better, always. And when you're doing that and you're eating unhealthy, you're just killing your body because you're breaking down, inflammation. Then you have no way to rebuild because you don't have the proper nutrients. But I think for people, we talked to Frank about this, a guy who came on who I've been working with for a while. And he's learning that it's just adventure. You get up and you do something every day, whether it's walking, climbing. It doesn't have to be going to the gym every single day. And I tell people it's good to break it up because the gym can get pretty monotonous as well. And, I do. I go to the gym because it fits in my schedule, but I try and break up a couple days a week at least where I get outside for a long period of time. Or what other exercises do you do besides lifting more heavier objects? I mean, have you gotten into more of the kind of natural movements, would you say, of your body?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm big into kind of primal workouts where you do those natural movements and things like that. And now that it's been 2 years and we're kind of just integrating it to our life path, I'm having a lot more fun with it. So I'm not working out just to work out. We're doing stuff that makes us happy, stuff that's exciting. Out here, there's a ton of boulders and stuff. So we do rock jumps on boulders instead of boxes and anything we can just to make it exciting and to get a workout in. Sometimes, one of my dogs is 60 pounds, so sometimes we'll just carry up the stairs a few times. Just whenever we can. And it's fun now. Before it was challenging and depressing. And along the lines of inflammation, my knee surgery was pretty extensive. I basically had every muscle replaced. And I remember before finding Paleo, I had a conversation with my doctor about permanent pain management, which was scary because, those are pills you're on for life, like Dr. House style, but I felt like I was out of options. And after my first month of Paleo, it hasn't hurt since. And that's, to me, the best thing.
Yeah, that is amazing because pain pills just completely wreck your metabolism, and people are like, "Why am I gaining all this weight?" And it's like, and it's because of this pill. But yeah, I noticed the same thing. I herniated my L5S1, and through eating paleo and kind of stocking up more on the omegas, omega-3 fish oils, I've been able to completely eliminate any sort of pain, and now I have full mobility. So it is a true testament to eating this way. So when you were kind of like in your weight loss phase, was there a specific like weight you were targeting for, and was that kind of set like by, all right, if I was this weight, I would be happy, so I don't have to think about it anymore, you know?
There was, and I actually, I stopped short of it, and that was a really big moment for me because it was a really hard decision, and I just made the decision. I am at the point where I'm happy, and I'm 3 pounds away, but that's okay because I was at the part where I was being so restrictive that it was making me a little crazy, and I was losing sight of the importance of it all. So I finally made that decision, and that was like a whole weight off my shoulder. I think my goal was like 150, and I stopped at like 153 or something like that. But yeah, there wasn't really a reason behind it. I knew that it was within the normal range for my height, but to me, I had never been that way before, even when I was at my thinnest in high school. So I just picked a number and went for it.
That's awesome, and I mean that feeling of not having to think about weight anymore is one of the best because, like, my dad was heavier and stuff, and I was predisposed to kind of gain weight in the stomach area. So when I set off to lose weight, it was like, all right, well, how do I get a six pack, and how can I, kind of eat what I want within the paleo framework and still have the six pack? And then I knew once I kind of conquered my genetic predisposition to gain weight in that area, I didn't have to think about it anymore. And it's like, I don't know, such a great feeling for those of us that do think about our weight to not think about it anymore. It's just like, all right, I know I'm safe if I eat within this kind of, these kind of this paleo template. And it's so awesome. I mean, can you talk a little bit about that? Not thinking about weight anymore, just thinking about kind of eating healthy foods.
Sure. It was really hard at first. I had a lot of mental struggles with. I was expecting people to be really supportive of weight loss, which they were, but what I wasn't expecting is for those handful of people that are just wanting, to see you not succeed, and just kind of creeping, waiting for the weight to climb back on. So for after I got
donuts to work, stuff like that. Yeah, I talk about social circles and the sabotage, and how that's one of the toughest things to overcome. So I'm glad you're bringing that up, actually.
Yeah, and I know how to deal with it now, but back then there was always just kind of somebody watching, just waiting, and oh, you're gonna eat that, even though it's perfectly paleo, to them it's got the skin on it or something. So it was hard because I was going through this mental battle where even though I lost 70 pounds, I'm still not a zero. There's still a ton of people way skinnier than me. So what are people going to think of me? Like, are they going to just dismiss me? Would they even take advice from me? And one of my friends just sat down and was like, this is your life and this is your path, and everybody else's is different. So that was hard at first to get into the swing of not having to worry about weight. And then I think once I started helping other people lose weight, it took my mind off of my own and helped me focus on theirs. And I've talked to a few of my friends' wives who I've never even met before. We just talked about paleo and weight loss through online or texting, and they're like so tiny now and shredded, and I'm so excited for them. But it took a while for me to accept myself that, I'm happy where I am, and if other people don't really understand that, then that's on them, not me. So yeah, now I just focus on good food, healthy food. I haven't stepped on the scale since, and my pants still fit, so that's what matters to me, and I feel healthy. I'm active. I can do things that I couldn't have done 2 years ago, and every day I just feel better. I sleep better. Every aspect of my life is better. So there's so many other positive things to focus on rather than weight.
Well, your body's going to change. Believe it or not, 2 years is not that long. Like I said, I've been in athletics since I was 7, so I've been living and breathing this stuff one way or another. But I had problems just like everyone else. I had 15 pounds, 10 pounds that I shouldn't have been carrying. A large part of my life. So I think that's important too. That your body will change. You'll probably plateau at a point. I know I did, and then all of a sudden, as you kind of fine tune and as you kind of find your way, all of a sudden you'll jump on the scale one day and you go, oh my God, I'm 145 or something. It may happen. It may not though too, because your body will find its way. And I'll tell you right now, my body knows what weight it likes to stay at.
Right.
I fight it, and I used to sit there and pound 8 protein shakes a day and 5 chicken breasts and trying to keep this weight, and I could only gain about 5 to 7 pounds more weight, and it was such a struggle to keep it when I was younger and into the whole bodybuilding thing and trying to do that. And it works the opposite way though too, that your body will find its way, and if you fight it to lose that weight all the time and you get thin, you'll yo-yo. You'll keep yo-yoing back and forth, and that's a good point to make, that your body will find its way. And I just don't think yours, you don't know where it's going yet. Heck, I don't know where mine's going yet. It's always changing.
Yeah, that's the great thing I think about paleo is you can be kind of any way you want to be. You just got to change your macros. So if you want to lose weight, you just cut out more sugar and more starch, more of the carbs, and just up your vegetables and increase some healthy fats within moderation and up your protein. So it's so easy to be whatever you're going to go on a trip and you want to look a certain way, cool, you can get shredded, so it's so easy, and it's just great because you can play around with all these great foods. I don't find it restrictive anymore.
Add a little extra exercise, that's another thing, is adding a little extra exercise, and you don't have to add a lot, just a little bit. And I'm playing around with that again. I'm eating more carbs than I've eaten in a long time, but what I've done is I've tweaked a little bit of my exercise just to see how much, but I'm amazed at how much more carbs I can eat with very little exercise. I'm experimenting yet again. And I'll be honest with you, it's part because I got a new dog, and this dog needs to be exercised. So it's forcing me to get out and have to exercise him beyond my normal exercise, because I can't take him to the gym and lift weights with me. But you know what I mean? And I'm starting to realize that as you fine-tune and as you get it, you'll find that little tweaks do a lot now, as opposed to before, they really didn't make a difference. You didn't notice as much.
Yeah. No, I agree. And Gary and I have been playing around with this 5 to 20 minute window after doing like intense cardio. We're playing around with, having what's the certain amount of carbs your body can absorb where it actually is anabolic. You mix it with a little bit of proteins to build harder, leaner muscle, and you're improving your endurance at the same time. So, because sometimes after I had been like really low carb ketogenic, and after 3 to 4 years, I'd already lost all the fat and I was in maintenance mode, and yet I wanted to start running because I enjoy it, and it's something that's challenging for me. So then I get to play with my macros again, and it's been fun experimenting when to have carbs, and does it knock me out of ketosis or like a ketogenic fat burning mode, and it doesn't at this point. And I'm really happy because I'm feeling stronger, and it's really about just having those carbs at a certain time, building extra strength, and outside of that, I'm just low carb. So I'm sure you I don't know if you play around with your diet that much, but I mean, through all your different recipes, I mean, I'm sure you play around with it to a degree.
Right. This is actually the one thing I really wanted to talk about today, because I think this is the main thing that people get wrong with weight loss, even with paleo. I've talked to Heath about how right now I really just like helping other people find their way with weight loss, and there's been about 30, 35 people, and a bunch of them tried it. I made all the recipes, shopping lists for them and everything, trying to make it as simple and non-restrictive as possible. And I think that, especially with today's day and age, there's an app for everything, and everybody's looking for immediate results that fit them. And just like we talked about, if my own brother, who's my same DNA, can, eat, this much food and still be totally toned, and I can't, and he's my blood, then what makes somebody think that their neighbor will have the same diet? So during my weight loss phase, if I had just stuck normal paleo, I would have stopped maybe after 10 pounds. But by tweaking it and really learning what my body can accept and not can accept, like the bananas at the end stage, now I know. So just like you were saying, if I maybe go on vacation and gain 5 pounds, I know exactly how to get rid of it. But that never would have happened if I hadn't been open to my own vulnerabilities and just taking away all the excuses that I've had before and realizing that it's going to take work on my part. And that goes the same for everybody. You're going to have to tweak it to find out what makes your body tick. And then once you know, then it's awesome, because you can do whatever you need to do. And yeah, I play around with it all the time. I do use a lot of primal recipes, but I can't really process dairy. It's mostly for my husband, but I get to play around with his food too, so it's fun.
Yeah, it's tough for me too. I mean, I'm in the same boat where cheese is tough, and it's like it triggers mucus for me. But I'll indulge every now and then in it. I wish I could, and I wish almond cheese tasted better. So all the almond cheese manufacturers, step up your game. Actually, we're working on a cultured coconut cheese. So maybe someday that'll come to life, because you can actually culture the coconut and like a coconut kefir kind of, and then develop cheese from it. So it's pretty cool. Maybe someday.
Yeah.
But, well, we want to thank you so much for coming on. Make sure you go to Instagram.com/CFELIPEFIT, C Felipe Fit. You can check out all of her recipes, and I think that's so neat that you're helping people around you and, spreading the good word of paleo.